Welcome everybody, Margine here, and I thought we would start sitting with a brief sitting practice, a breathing sitting practice. Modify it. You can do this from standing, you can do this walking, you can look out the window. Just modify as you like. And it starts in yoga, the old Sanskrit mudra, which is delightful and gladdening, and refers often to these hand gestures. So we'll just tuck the thumb in, and you'll have your own, variety, and encircle the thumb like a little sausage. You could do one hand, both hands. Whether your hands are up or down, you decide. And so we'll just do a breathing. I'll guide us through it, but modify for you. So if you speed it up, or if my voice is intolerable or too annoying or too slow, put me on mute. I thought we'd go up to 5 and down, a few different ways. So we have this, and it's a bit of a squeeze, a squeeze and a release, but nothing too dramatic. And perhaps favor the pinky. Occasionally remember, or I'll nag at us to remember the pinky. Okay? So we'll just breathing in together, and that'll be a bit of a squeeze, and then breathing out. So we'll get the hang of it. You can do it. Breathing in together. It's a little bit of a squeeze, pinky, breathing out. So we're just regulating the breathing, coming into conversation, breathing in and breathing out. So let's try different. You might like this better. Now I'm breathing in. Now I'm breathing out. Like a referential. Now I'm breathing in. Now I'm breathing out. Just coming into the moment best you can. Now I'm breathing in. Now I'm breathing out. Modify as you need. Let's try an image like a wave. Rising, rising. Falling, falling. See if you could just let the image do the work. Rising, rising. That's our little squeeze. Pinky. Falling, falling. Rising, rising. Falling, falling. We'll do 2 more varieties of this. Now's a count. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. X, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. X, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. X, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last parts with words. Inhaling, slow, steady, smooth, soft, release. Inhaling, slow, steady, smooth, soft, release. Softening can be a teacher. Last one. Inhaling, slow, steady, smooth, soft. Maybe add on strong. Release. If you would continue on your own, come up with your own. There's a little chime here. I'll ring the little chime in 1 minute, and then we'll have some wrist stretches. adjustments if you need. You could stay with that the whole time. So we're just looking for techniques that resonate with you and that and you can, once you realize how easy this stuff is, you'll be less and less impressed. Yes? So I thought we'd do, and the same, you could do these from standing if you want or some other arrangement, but just taking we had a request for wrists and fingers. So the thumbs and the Peter pointer, middle, ring man, and pinky. And just both ways. And then rolling in the wrist, lead with the thumbs and lead with the pinkies. You might have some crusty rusties if you've been our 3rd month of quarantine here. And then just making a fist again and rolling. So I thought we'd do a few shoulder and a few things with the wall with the shoulders. How about we try just rolling the thumbs on the index fingers, and then on the right hand, roll the thumb on the index finger, and on the left hand, the index finger on the thumb. Have a breath, maybe. Apparently, when we concentrate, some of us stick our tongues out as a way to keep everybody awake because we're focusing. And then let's try our tapping. So good luck. So we'll go the index fingers, middle, ring, and pinky. And maybe you play piano, it's a piece of cake, or something. You could get really excited. You could do, in different arrangements. And then the trick, perhaps, tricks and tips, start one hand at the ring and at the thumb, and one at the pinky. When we first started doing this, some of us, it was like whiplash, and then just give it a little shake. Just experiments, maybe drawing the attention, from if your thoughts are racing around or something. So we're excited to be here. It's good to be together. And then one other one, yes, and then we'll just come up. So you have a V and a W. And you can help them. Everything responds to a little love or encouragement. I heard a young boy yesterday say on the street, and he said, "Don't hate, meditate." Isn't that beautiful? Don't hate, meditate. Yeah, so give them a little appreciation there. And then how about, this might be easier standing, but it's one hand, be really bad at it, I'm lousy at it, one hand going forward, one arm. So now we're just traveling, like let's say we started at the fingers, like the fringe, and we're moving up elbows to shoulders, and then the other goes backward. So one goes forward. If you want to try, you could, it's all hard for the ego lands, but apparently it's easier if one is wider apart, and if you start with your dominant hand. If they're a bigger space, and then you gradually shorten the space. Yeah? Lots to learn, right? Live and learn. Experimenting's good, yeah? So I thought we'd come to standing, and then, but you decide, freestyle, go rogue. So it might be child's pose for a while, or it might be whatever you need, cat pose. Your body has it's like the History Channel, right? Lots of information, and even honoring yourself as this multi-dimensional breath body. You might have a lot of crunches and crackles. A lot of people said they've been slouched on the couch rusting. I might be the last one up. Yeah. So I thought we'd try a few people I know are seeing this that yoga it's new to them. And so I thought we would have maybe a little bit more instructive or prescriptive than usual or something in class. So we'll just see. So this has three or four parts to it will modify. So it's holding hands. Usha is a Sanskrit name for this mudra, and I guess it's dawning, like it dawns on me, and it's the daughter of the heavens. We can have a breath in. You might, stand wide, stand narrow. First part's forward. It could be very, the upper arm bone could stay right in there and quite erect, or maybe you need, to wiggle and jiggle a little bit, So then at inhale, we'll just get the template, inhales back in, switch the grip so it'll feel like you have 12 fingers, and then we'll go down and up. And you can, customize and you could do this in a chair, of course, or at the kitchen sink, Bringing in some side bending. Tama had done the class with side bending. That's just marvelous, right? Feeling into the sides of the spine, all those little gears. And then the last part, it comes back. There's an inhale, and it's a little theatrical here. Pinkies lead the way, sort of, and that might be enough, right? We could roll the shoulders. You might want to do a little, like a tricep exercise or something. I never used to be able to catch my hands, and I was so happy, over time, touch the thumbs, hook the thumbs. Generally, we try not to just overarch and displace them. Let's see how it goes. If you feel for it, go diving. You can dive over the cliff. Esther used to say, imagine a heavy, heavy golden ball in your hands, and it's just the weight of the ball, gravity's helping you out, So of course you modify for your blood pressures and so on. And then often we find the footprints, let the full footprint help us and rolling up, exhaling up, stacking. Yeah. So that's the set. It's a breath in. And maybe you're doing this looking out the window or outside somewhere. Lucky you, And there's an inhale. It's down and up. The tempo, of course, will be your own, And that's another inhale, switching the grip each time if possible. Sweeping, pinkies. We've imagined arms like lungs before. We've imagined our heart as a lung. You might stay there. If it's two, you don't have to catch, of course. Maybe you have one arm, you modify. Could even do a little ho, ho, ho there. And it's forward. I'll keep going a few more. But temperamentally, you might, get on with it and then steady, or maybe you're sluggish to start. So but take a sneak peek if you get mixed up, right? To some degree, the integrity of the feet, that's traveling all the way up, right? So you're standing in your soul. Have timeouts, So even just, I'm trusting the process, right? I'm entering into a process. If it's getting more, slide and glide, and you do come over, you could keep the palms more together, which often is an upgrade. Or if you're behind, shifting the elbows from side to side. Without, hopefully not, we're always compensating, but not pushing out the ribs too much. So maybe if you would just add another one in or pause, you might prefer to pause where you're comfortable, comfy, cozy, or perhaps where it's a little odd, and like even being here, it's exciting and a little nervous, and that's challenging, right? So often exciting and challenging go together. So you might prefer to pause in something that's out of your kind of normal body map, you know. We practice eyes open, eyes closed. Could look off into the distance, right? Yeah. And I thought we'd try one other one from standing of the shoulders, and more from when we're on the ground of, you know, classical Gomukta asana, arms and so on. The other last one I thought we'd try from standing is rolling one shoulder forward and the other one backward. When I first started this, I had to do one at a time and stop. I couldn't figure it out. Yeah. So feeling your way. Some of us find that sensations are quite convincing. Others of us like an image. We follow, you know, reverse your ways, but maybe you have a lot of, vast anatomical knowledge. Like, what's that? You've forgotten more than I'll ever know about anatomy. So you might follow the mechanicals, you know. And then give it a shake, give it a swing. And I thought we'd come to the wall, if you like. And this is just, the demo is to be sideways depending on, you know, right? Coming over like a little halo. Well, halo, so it's sort of hallelujah arms, halo. And then maybe, unlike me, the elbow goes up quite high-ish toward the sky, and the fingers face one another. If you feel, you know, I just need some muscle energy, you know, maybe you do little push-aways. The tinkering with the outer leg, you know, can perhaps reawaken some of the dust bunnies. The continuity of the spine, right, the integrity. So if it finds like it's a pain in the neck, one thing might help is to drop the eye, drop the chins, and then just bring the chins in, and perhaps you're able to sweep up from the base of the skull, from the spine, rather than trying to, you know, pull the body with the chin. And just last piece, the bottom arm is just drop. We've dripped, dropped. So in a sense, it's kind of a project. The distinction from strong and tense. So what is strong is tension, strength, you know. If it's okay on your lower back, right? Some of us have more of a dent, and others of us more droopy drawers. If it's okay, you might like to tip under. You could go for both. And if you're adventurous, keep spinning around. And we had the setup was both hands, you know. Participate to what's interesting to you. Perhaps you just, you know, want to get some sensations mobilized, or that the outer leg could be a gesture leg. Mm-hmm. Apparently, the lungs there, the ribs move when we're breathing, like pleating, unpleating, accordion-like action. You know, we could occasionally in yoga, we locate the consciousness, so to speak, like at the tip of the nostrils, or, you know, kind of into the side ribs. There you go, Jan. Beautiful. Beautiful, Jan. So you might, you know, occasionally we amplify or make it ugly or exaggerate, you know, in order to feel it. Yes? Okay. And then one last piece. This height will depend on your issues in your tissues. It's here, and we've done things wider apart, narrower, just finding a comfortable spot. Just the piece with the shoulders and the upper back is to drop one arm and take a sneak peek under. You could, let your feet know you love them. So that little start position is as if it's Adho Mukha Shavasana. It's dog pose with the wall. For years, this was the way I did dog pose. Years and years, maybe 20, 15 years. Drop and then twisting a bit. So allegedly, the thoracic spine, the ones that the ribs hook on there, it's designed to swivel, which you wouldn't know from looking at most of us. So what does your body want you to know, The practice has never let me down. It can't let you down. Yes? And then any other, swinging, whatever ones, we have our pet ways that we like. And then I thought we would, as you're taking your time, just for those of you, I thought we would come to the wall. Here I have an imaginary mat. The secret technique is if we sit sideways first, and that it's not too glamorous, well, if you want your mat, and then we roll up. So what I thought we'd do while here, I'm going to talk less, have a little chime. We'll do some shoulder, and at the same time, hybrid, double trouble, we'll do some leg experiments. So again, if it's new, and I know some of us, this is all confusing. We can all figure this out. Is if you sit sideways first and swivel. And depending your lower back curve, your hamstrings, your genetics, you might not be too flush up. You might be quite close. And also one other piece about I want us to feel that we can comfortably swallow. So long, hollow throat, soft front of the throat, long back of the neck. So if you're at home or so, you might need, I often do a little pad or a little pillow, right? So another way to language it is the bony landmarks of the cheekbones. We want to feel that the cheekbones could be higher than the chin. So it's almost, if you were to lower your gaze, you're looking down into your heart or down into your tummy. Viparita Karani, the Sanskrit's the old yoga language. I guess it means perfected. And this shape, allegedly, somehow is a great rejuvenator and replenisher. You could do legs over the bed. Someone I think who will be doing this with us is in a bed, bedridden, legs over a bed cushion, just getting, gently the drainage, right? So this piece is, if you like, it's arms out to the sides. I guess our shoulders, it's the three bones, the upper arm bone, the collarbone, and the shoulder blade, and it's all very unstable, which is great because it's flexible, but easily injured, right? Perhaps there's a little bit of a tug of war. You're being pulled to the left and pulled to the right a little bit. It might invite in adjacent bits, the neck, the jaws. And rolling the shoulders down or one down. You could track it, like from a shoulder to the elbow to the wrist to the fingers, the fingernails. Say we drop the head to the right, slither the base of the skull away from the shoulders a bit, right? It is another way. It brings the chin to the chest, but it's like the initiation. The locomotive is more than the spine, you know, the chin's kind of the caboose. If you want, we did some of the eye yoga. You might have had a chance to follow the eye yoga. One eye yoga piece is to, in this arrangement, is to keep the head to the, have the head to the right, pardon me, and leave the eyes there and bring the head back to the middle. It can, sort of like a biohack, right? Training, here you go, training your brain. And then if we try to the left again, the base of the skull kind of going back through the back wall, or maybe you're doing this outside, off into infinity there. You might like churning, cleaning the shoulders, irrigating, and then leaving the eyes to the left if you like. I guess there's 12 little muscles that suck each eyeball in there. And, you know, most of us are often now looking at screens and things. And bringing the eyes back. And hovering if you like, hovering the arms off the ground, be bad at this, and eyes closed if you feel safe enough with that. When you bring the arms up, like a big hug, you're hugging someone you'd love to hug or hug a tree, only touch the tips of the middle fingers. And, you know, you could observe or make note, well, do you hold your breath to do that? Does your jaw, do you do that with your jaw? Maybe try a few times. I've done this before where I've almost hit myself in my own head. It's also jangled up. We can play with texture, you know, strong and dutiful or fluffy puffy, right? Playing with different textures of the body. If you're with this the next time you're up, we've climbed the ladder, climbed the rope, picked the apples. One gal here at the studio used to be a harp, play the harp, and it was just exquisite, the strength and the consciousness. She would pluck the harp strings when just, And then float, plop. You might want to toss the bones. Maybe you need bone tossing, floating. Reassess, you know, presumably by these movements, it affects respiration. It's a powerful practice, right? And then with the legs up, reach through the heels, like heels high to the sky. Pinky toe edges more toward the face often is a bit more difficult for some of us, you know, being in the cement. And we'll just open out the right leg a bit to the right. And with the arms, you might like to make goalposts. You can go to your extreme on your leg if you like, but we'll just watch that we haven't displaced, so to speak, for some of us, into the lower back, where the lower ribs have flared out and you know, that we're kind of bypassing. And then if you like, up you come with the open out the left, but try, when I was a kid, they used to say happy cactus for the arms like this, and then droopy cactus. So you might like to go happy and droopy. And you see some of those cacti have, you know, one is up and one is down, so you can start to customize your cactus. These are perfectly normal human movements, which a lot of us are not getting. You know, it's maybe for some of us a more pedestrian lifestyle, right? Up we come with the left, open out both into a V, right? If it feels too exposed, fair enough. You might like to have the hands to the tummy, the belly, or low, like generally low, slow belly breathing is more like a sedative or narcotic. You can check the physiologicals about helping the blood pressure. Even just listening to the silence. Beautiful. There's, I think, maybe about 4 or 5 more components to this set. Is we're keeping the legs wide, just bend the knees. So we're in a squat on the wall. You could even perhaps turn out more the right foot to the right, the left foot to the left, depending, it all connects. So we're just seeing if we could, again, maybe you want more to a point of challenge, or what you find challenging, somebody else finds very simple. And let's bring the soles of the feet together. Of course, you could stay with any of these components a lot longer. In this Supta Konasana, we've various things over the years you might find highly beneficial. One of which is sort of praying with the feet, pressing the feet together, pulling apart the toes. You might see your feet, but can you feel them? It's find a sense of them from the inside. Another technique it used to help me an awful lot, is in Supta Konasana, this like a baseball diamond up the wall, pretending that your right knee is pulled to your right and your left knee pulled to your left. And depending where, you may be compressed, that you might find that beneficial. If you wanted more oomph or action, leaving the feet on the wall and swooping the bum up a little bit and then lowering. Sometimes that just a gross mechanical, and then if you do that, when you lower, just like lengthening. So in this approach, always lengthening. Allowing the sacrum and the skull to go far apart, so the bum goes far away from the brain. Then let's keep the right leg there, that foot on the wall like so, and then the left leg goes up the wall. So you're in a yoga asana. Asana, I guess, means easy position, comfortable, easy breath, easy brain. We do this shape sitting, all sort of different orientations to gravity. Gravity can be our friend, right? And then odd, maybe, the left leg sweeps open to the left. So sort of a crotch stretch. Again, if it's open or too odd or whatever, you might even hug your arms into your chest or rolling. That might feel cozy. Some of us, depending how broad the shoulders are, how many shoulder surgeries you've had, you might wrap, and then if the length of the arms were eagle, Garuda, eagle arm, and that's usually quite a private, and there's all this philosophy about the brain and the eyes of the eagle and rising above your life, seeing far, beautiful. In eagle arm, if you like busy, some days you want stuff to do, we've brought the elbows to one side, the head to the other. What would it be like to have breathing shoulders? Could you even imagine? Apparently the anatomies books say that as we breathe in, our bones go away from one another. We're bigger. They go for a ride, like on the tide of the breath. Can you feel it? And as you exhale, they like hug toward the organs and hug. And then last piece, arms how you like. We'll bring the left leg back up. Yes? And cross the right foot above the left knee, maybe. And this is, we'll see how this goes. You could bend, how Chloe has, she could bend the left knee toward her left shoulder a little bit. The left knee toward her left shoulder. That's it, Jan. Yeah. And you have your pet spots, how's my lower back in now, or so we're not so much like the glory of the pose if we've vacated or overridden. And perhaps for you, you carry on folding into cow pose, Gomukta Asana, perhaps not, you might have had enough. And there's another arrangement that the knees are really they're not the primary, they're not the causative agent, right? We'd like that wrapping deep the pelvic floor, even, imagining breath penetrating, permeating. As we've stretched out the diaphragm, it does apparently help the breath to plunge and saturate lower. And then any reassessment. So you hug in, you go up, you need agitation. There isn't a yoga police that you, shaking apparently in a very healthy way produces synovial fluid. We've set it up before the 4 R's. The 4 R's, I kind of liked it, by releasing the soft tissue, by relaxing and releasing, that's the first R, that repositions the bones. So your bones now are actually healthier, right? So by releasing, relaxing, you've repositioned your bones, R2, and then the third one is that reduces inflammation. So there's a better flush, even visualizing the breath, oxygenating, surging. And then final R, what I was inventing, was it could maybe help us reimagine ourselves a bit. So by releasing the tension, we reposition the bones, and that reduces inflammation, and maybe we could reimagine, become the breathing space, perhaps. So we'll just balance the sides. We'll open out into the V, the legs out into the V. There's no hurry in yoga, And where I stay, I don't have a wall, and I close the closet door. I do this up the closet door. So you modify your whole environment can be a yoga, your whole life is a yoga mat, right? And then we bent the knees so we're in a squat on the wall. We've done before massaging or wrapping, going with the design of the muscles, flushing. It's the only legs we've got, and they're yours for a long spiritual journey. Gratitude is such a powerful practice, right? Thank you, legs. Thank you, legs. Apparently, any thought of gratitude immediately helps your own immune system. So even if it's just self-interested, what could I be grateful for? And we had the bottoms of the feet together, like as if we're bottom means band. It's how we get our word band-aid, cummerbund. So it's like you're becoming an energy loop, like you just have one massive breathing foot. And we had the right leg up, so the left knee stays bent. And, you know, you've lived a different life on this side. This might be your special side, or sports, driving. All of us have leg length discrepancy. You know, it's not pathological. We all have one longer leg. So what are you noticing? Could your shoulders even... maybe they could drop another layer. And, you know, even our necks, it's astonishing. It seems we can always release our necks more. That's beautiful, Jan. And then we have the left leg there. We opened out the right. How about we have with the arms, we didn't do, just like hallelujah. Hallelujah with the arms. You might want to add in that Ushas Mudra, where you weave together your hands, or even crack your knuckles. That side bending might be available on that, or, you know. Does this structure, this asana, affect you? If so, in what way? Is it true it has a respiratory effect? And then our big finish line here is the right leg back up. Again, maybe you do toes to the nose, or a lot of us have pretty sleepy feet. And then we cross the right foot over somewhere. Usually I'm way down at the ankle or whatever. If you had not balanced your eagle arm, Garuda, you might like to, if you can remember. What more could you surrender, in a sense? So, like just for a moment, I gave all of me. Just for a moment. If wrapping further appeals to you, or calling for Gomukta Asana, more of a fold, do. If not, it's not my go-to pose in a time of despair. Oh, but they're good teachers, yeah. And I'd like to finish with a brief poem. And so just arrange yourself, up the wall, hugging in, slipping back, bone tossing like you toss the salads at snow. Just see what appeals to you. This is from Kalidasa, considered the foremost Sanskrit poet ever. And I was thinking maybe we could try to learn it in Sanskrit at some point. It's about from the 4th century Common Era. So, Kalidasa. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of existence, the bliss of growth, the splendor of action, the glory of achievement, our experiences of time. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day, for this is the first day of the rest of your life. Use it wisely, and above all, use it with the greatest degree of love. Thank you for practicing together.